Hopefully the lighting will last. All right guys, I'm back and I wanted to go over this haul with you. I did the numbers yesterday. I spent around just under $75. I feel like what I got for that price, I'm gonna have so many freaking plants. Yeah, so like let's just jump right into it and let me show you what I got. So the first thing that I found yesterday, sorry. So the first thing I got yesterday was this really pretty Alocasia Polly, I think. It was actually in the clearance section of Lowe's. It was originally $26.98 and I got half price off, which the girl at the register said it's probably because of most of that money's coming because of the pot. I didn't buy it for the pot. I'm actually kind of surprised that it was on the discount shelf because this is actually some new growth that we have right here. But anyway, so I'm interested to, take off this moss that's at the top and see what we got going on down in here. But yeah, so technically that is one plant, but I really feel like it's healthy enough to where I can propagate that, split it up and have multiple babies. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. This is actually my first, not my first, but one of my few traditional houseplants. I usually go more towards the succulents. And then we got this cute little guy here. This is a Carusula capitella. I think I'm saying that right. I'm still learning the names. But it was about, I want to say like $6. But the reason why I picked this one, I used to just when I would go and shop for plants, I would always just pick the ones that I felt like looked the prettiest. And looked, the healthiest and just looked good in the pot. But hold on, I gotta go get my cat. I'm back. But now I've started to be a little bit more conscious of like when I'm picking out plants, like if there's any babies in there. And so this one actually it's got some offshoots in here. Actually feel like there's more than what I originally saw at the store now that I'm really inspecting it. So, oh my gosh, there's some hidden ones in here that I didn't know. So we have this 1, 2, 3, big plants, but then we also have this little one here, and then there's one here, and then there is what looks like 3 on the inside. I don't know if you guys see it, but I'll take them apart. Once I repot all this, I'll show you. So we'll have a number at the end of how many plants I actually got for the price that I paid. So I'm excited about that one. And then next, this was from Lowe's too. This is, I just said a bunch of times. This is a sedum pork and beans. Now, my original thought of getting this one, and I know this one looks really kind of sad. This was not on the discount shelf, but I thought, what the heck, I'll just take it to the register and see what they'll give it to, like what they'll take off. And you can see here there's a lot of pieces in here that have lots of roots, and there are some leaves that have fallen off that are already rooted. So I mean, that was really what made me kind of like go for this one, was because of all the roots that I saw in there. But I thought, oh, if I can get a really good price on it. I actually paid $4 for that one. I'm not sure how much originally it was, but I got that one for $4, and then I got this little, I'm not even sure what it is, but the little leaves are fuzzy, and I like fuzzy succulents. So I took this one up there too, and again, I was really trying to get a really good deal on these, and I was hopeful, especially with this one, that like they would give it to me. I paid $1.50. Thinking back on it now, I probably would not have initially wanted to spend that much. That's kind of a lot for a plant that looks like this, but I already felt committed. It was almost like going up to the register with, a rescue dog and being like, well, that's kind of expensive for this rescue dog. I'm just gonna put it back. So I already felt committed, and so that's the reason why I decided to keep these. But another, thing, the bright side of this is I feel like this stem here looks, can be rejuvenated enough. I'll clip off the top of that, and that will become a plant, and then hopefully I'll get some babies offshooting from that. But if not, I gave it a good try. So there's those. And then another, I showed you these guys. I got these from a local plant store. It's more of like kind of like a Tractor Supply, and then they just have a few plants. I was actually expecting them to have more plants than they did, but anyways, I got these, and I'm not sure what that one is yet. I'm gonna do some research. Maybe you guys know what it is. If you do, like, leave it in the comment section. And then this is one of my favorite succulents, which is the Panda. And look how beautiful that one is. It's also got some little babies on here. So, and these were only $3 a piece. So I honestly felt like, well, it's definitely cheaper for the size than what I would have paid if I would have went to like Walmart or Lowe's. But you know, you can't beat $3 for that, especially considering how many, you know, pieces I can go ahead and cut off of that and create into new plants. So those those. So my next one is one that I got from Walmart. Again, this one was $7.96 on here. I originally thought it was an aloe, but now I'm thinking it's a Haworthia. I'm still learning how to say the names good, but I picked this one because, again, of all the offshoots and the babies that are in here. So there appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I see 6 in here, 6 total plants in here. So for, you know, $8, that's not bad at all either. I'm really pumped about that one. And then I'm really excited that I found one of these. I found this at Lowe's. This is a dogtail cactus, and it just looked, not only is it like the coolest looking plant ever. Oh no, I just broke that leaf. Not only is it like one of the coolest looking plants ever, honestly, it's just super cool. There's so many babies in here. It's just, you know, it's not even funny. So I'm really excited to take this apart and, you know, see, there's already some pieces in here that have roots. I can just reroot that. So like, I swear there's gonna be like, I paid $15 for that. There's gonna be like so many plants that I can make out of this. So I'm excited about that one too. I keep saying I'm excited about all of these plants. It's because I am. All right, and so now, probably the one that maybe you're most excited for, I know I'm most excited for, is this snake plant. Now, I just want to talk about this one for a second. You know, old Jessica, when I would go shopping for plants, again, I would look for something that just looked the healthiest and looked the prettiest in its pot. I probably would have never given this one a second look. And the reason for that is because it just doesn't look very pretty. It looks like someone crammed a bunch of plants down into this pot, and it's not appealing to the eyes. And I'm thinking that it's probably been there for so long, and that's why there's so many things down, like so many offshoots down in here. And then, you know, it just looks like it's busting at the seams. And that's because it really is. So yeah, I'm excited to open this up, or take this apart, and see how many we actually have in there. I tried to count them in the store, and pretty much after I got past 6, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take it. This is probably the best, most fullest one. So yeah, I'm really excited. So I'm going to unpot all these and separate them, and then we will find out how many we have at the end. I almost forgot. I did find these on, these were kind of like on the like caddy or whatever it is where all the plants are. I don't know what they're called, end caps, whatever. Anyways, so I found 3 pieces of this cactus. I asked the cashier if I could just buy them as like cuttings, and she's like, I don't know, because like the plant people come and do all that. And I was like, really, you guys are just probably gonna sweep it away and throw it away? And she was like, what are you talking about? Show me what you mean. And so I took her over there and I was like, can I just have these? This was at Walmart. And so I feel like a lot of times like Walmart puts their cashiers like everywhere. I don't know. I've never worked at Walmart, so I might be wrong by saying this, but I feel like they just kind of sprinkle their cashiers like throughout the store. And so unless that person like specifically works in that department all the time and has knowledge, they may not know. But anyway, so I did the ethical thing and I asked, can I have these? I know a lot of people on my TikTok were like, what? You asked, like, I just take it. And so I don't know, I wanted to kind of just see like what would happen if I did ask, so I wasn't going to be super disappointed if she told me no. But I just wanted to see what she would say if she asked. So technically that's 3 more plants right there. And then I did, again, with the Wandering Jew, I put it in some water, so it's propagating already now, but that one was one that I found at the local store, and the reason why I felt to ask for that one was, again, I just wanted to see what they would say. I wasn't going to be super disappointed if she told me no, but also I know a lot of like small plant stores, like propagate, and they'll take their pieces that fall off and they'll create new plants from that. If they don't, usually if they don't like outsource their plants. But I asked her and she told me I could just have it, and so there again. So that's another plant that I got. I count that in yesterday's haul because technically it's a plant and it will be a plant soon. But yes, so okay, I'm gonna break these apart. Okay, I had to stop the time lapse for a second because when I pulled this out of this pot, oh my god, first of all, the smell was freaking terrible. I mean, there's like look how much water, like that is just gross. Way too overwatered, this poor thing. Honestly, I feel so bad for it, but yeah. So I just wanted to stop and show you this atrocious thing. But yeah, so I'm so glad to have this plant home and be able to take care of it like it deserves to be taken care of. So, all right, back into the video. Okay, so now that I have separated them all, I want to drop them in a bath, give them a good rinse down. That water honestly smelled so rancid that, you know, honestly, I just want to get rid of any chance of possibly bringing in any pests, but also just to kind of get rid of that smell and just give them a good cleaning. So here we are. They are all cleaned and separated. I'm actually going to give them, I'm going to lay them out and let them, you know, dry out for a little bit because they were in a ton of water, and that was extremely stressful for them as well as everything that I just did to them. So I don't want to overwhelm them any more than they already are. So I'm going to let them dry out, and then once they have had time to kind of dry out, then I'm going to repot them into their own individual pots, and yeah, we'll see how many we got. So I had to take a little break to do the mom thing, but now we are going to jump into this Haworthia and see how many we got. So we have 5 babies and then 1 mother plant. I'm going to let these sit out and callus before I pot them. I don't want to cause any rot or anything like that, so I want where I cut those roots off the mother plant to callus over before I repot them. And I just put the mother plant back into the container that I got from Walmart. I have to make some succulent soil and find a better pot for it, but she will be fine back in this pot for a little while until I can do that. But I'm gonna go ahead and set these with the rest of my babies that are back here. Next we have our Carusella capitella that we are going to take out of the pot. So we have them all separated here. I accidentally knocked off a little leaf here, so we will set that aside and see if we can propagate from that. But yeah, so we have this little guy here, this one. But then I also wanted to show you this here. Like there was a few of the little leaves that I accidentally was a little too rough with, but hopefully they'll be okay. But I just wanted to show you, look how many little new growths we have on this one. I'm not going to take these off. I'm just going to let them to continue to grow and hopefully get bigger before I try to take them off of this plant. But I mean, honestly, this guy is like trying so hard to thrive, and I am loving every inch of it. We have this one here. This one is doing the same thing. We have quite a few babies on there. I think I'm going to cut this one off right here. This one's got a nice little stem, so we will propagate that. But those other little ones in there, we're just going to let them keep going until they get a little bigger, and then we'll have more babies. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that was like jackpot right there. I'm so happy with that one. So here we are with our final products. I just put these in these little orchid pots that I had. I don't have any little pots right now, but I think these work really well. There's a lot of drainage for them, so they won't get too wet. But yeah, so we have our little cutting right here that we did. Again, I'm gonna let that callus over and hopefully propagate this little leaf as well. But yes, so all in all, I mean, that's 5 plants in one, but you know, we've got all these other babies that are literally on their way. So I will maybe do an updated video later showing how that turns out. But yeah, we have repotted our panda plant. I honestly, you know, the way that these plugs were, I've never experienced anything like this before. The soil was like so hard, it was rock hard. I couldn't really loosen up the roots, so I was actually kind of afraid to do much in there. So I just, you know, I tried to squeeze it as much as I could, and then I just went ahead and decided to repot that. And so my thoughts is that I want this plant to kind of get acclimated before I take these cuttings off, just because those roots were just so tight. I don't want to cause any more distress on the plant while, you know, after being potted in a new environment. I just didn't want to cause any more extra stress on this one because this is actually one of my favorite succulents. So, but as you can see, we have a little baby here, one here, and then one here. And now we have this one repotted. I don't know what kind of succulent this is. My little app is giving me some things that I know it's definitely not. But yeah, we got this one all in the new pot. Again, I can take cuttings off of this one, but I'm gonna wait until it is acclimated. But if you know what kind of succulent this is, please let me know in the comments because I have no idea. Also, I'm seeing some strange discoloration here. I'm not sure if that is pest related, so I'm going to actually quarantine this one just in case, so I can do a little research on it and figure out what's going on with this guy. But yeah, next we have this pork and beans. Looks very sad, but we're going to try and see what we can do to clean this up. We got a ton of little leaves that have already gotten roots, some little sprouts there. We are going to just toss this in my propagation tray and see what happens. Okay, so we have taken this apart. This part of the plant looks pretty good. I think we're not going to have any issues with that, you know, thriving from this point forward. But we did have this part of the plant, and the whole thing down into here is it's just dead. So. And this poor guy is just really trying hard to survive. You can see where it's just kind of dead there. So I'm going to cut that off there. I did the same thing with these over here. You can see the bottom of that. It's just so dead. But we do have some roots here. And I did the same thing again with these little guys. I'm actually gonna cut that off of that one too. That dead little root twig part of the plant. So yeah, so we'll just again set those guys with the rest of the propagation babies. I think this one, I mean, it has got some crazy roots going on up here. So I think I'm just gonna try to figure out what I can do with this one, but definitely, you know, definitely repot this one and see what we can do with these little guys. Okay, so we got our nice big one here in the new cup. I just decided to put this little guy in this little pot and kind of see what happens with him. Again, these are ones that I'm just, you know, I'm really hopeful for, and then I just decided to put those in a propagation tray. And you know, I just want to say how proud I am of this little guy for hanging in there and for having such a strong will to live. So hopefully after he has been in rehab for a little bit, we will be able to get this one feeling better. So we are on our next to last rehab on this little guy. I'm not sure what it is, honestly. I have no clue, but this is the one that I got for $1.50. I'm going to snip off the top here and then let that set out so that it can callus, and then I am going to repot. This soil just looks terrible, so I'm going to put this little guy in a new pot, or with new soil, I should say, and then hopefully we'll be able to get new babies in the future. So we'll see what happens. All right, and now we have our 3 little cactus pieces that we got for free that were just hanging out in the bin where they had fallen off of a mother plant, and those are ready to go to propagation. So I think that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna put a pause button on it and hopefully get the dog's tail separated tomorrow to see how many plants we actually got from that one. But yep, so I have all of my babies up here in my propagation station, the ones that need to dry out, but also the ones that have roots. I've got little spaces for those. And then I have everybody over here kind of ready to go into where they need to go, which is a greenhouse that I'm actually working on. Hopefully I will have a video of that up soon so that you guys can see that. But right now I'm just gonna call it a day. I'm gonna clean up my mess and get back at it tomorrow. So okay, we are back, and now that these snake plants have had time to dry out and recuperate a little bit, I'm going to repot them and see exactly how many we got. So we have all of them in their new pots. Most of them actually look pretty good, and then I think I'm gonna have to just rehab some of them. And then we did have this little guy. I don't think he's gonna make it. He looks so rough. So, and part of that might be my fault for leaving it out too long. But I'm just looking at that and thinking that I don't think that this one's gonna make it. So we may just give it a proper burial. Okay, so my son is shifting, so I've gotta work around that with the video here. But the last plant from the haul that I want to separate and try to see if I can make more plants out of is actually this dogtail cactus. I was super excited about finding that. I've actually never seen anything like that in person before, and I always have this like crazy urge to touch a cactus, and this one I can actually touch and not be harmed. So I'm really excited about it. So we're gonna break this one apart as well and just kind of see if we can make more plants out of what was in the single pot. So here we go. I went ahead and picked through some of the pieces that were just like laying in there. It is very delicate. It breaks apart really easily. So I'm using a lot of caution and gentleness when I mess with this plant because I don't want to damage it. And I don't want to break any off that aren't already broken off. The cool thing that I want to show you guys is that when these actually break off, here you can see where one is broken off, it just creates more offshoots from that. Let's see, there's one over here. You can see these little guys are just sprouting everywhere. That's one of the really cool things about these cacti, and probably one of the reasons why they multiply so quickly is they just, whenever they break, they just start new growth. It's been so long since I started this recording this haul that I almost forgot like which plants I got, and I had to like go back through and try to figure out which ones I got from the haul and count up how many I got. But all in all, with separating the plants that I got and repotting them, I got like 35 plants, and I'm saying like because there are a few of them that are more so like of propagation. They were pieces off of it that I had taken and put, and I'm just kind of waiting for them to root. Some of them actually didn't make it, but a lot of them did. And I can't, like, I got so many of them that I can't even fit them in the frame here, but I'm just gonna kind of show you, like, some of these little guys are in their own little pots, and they look real nice and happy. Oh, here's one of those Haworthias. You can see, like, they just look a little nice and happy in their little new pots. I did separate, so here's some of the dogtail cactus. I really just wanted to separate that one because there was so much in that pot that I wanted to have more of it. So I could have left it. It looks a little bare now, but I'm hoping that with that extra room will call for more growth, some new growth, and it'll just, fill itself back up fairly quickly. But yeah, and so like some of these guys, I decided to actually not propagate off of them yet. This one's looking a little odd. It's got some spots on it. I need to do some research and try to figure out what exactly is going on with this one. It almost looks like a fungus of some sort, but it hasn't spread to any of my other plants, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that one. So I want to wait for that one to be healthy. And then of course this one right here, like this one's ready for some propagating, but I was just holding off a little bit until it acclimated to its new home. just because this is like one of my favorite of all time succulents. So I don't want to harm it or, you know, cause it to have any issues. So I almost like I just kind of want to leave it. So I don't know. And then we have this one that was like looking super sad, but as you can see, it looks a lot better. But these were the pieces. I had actually took some of those off and repotted them. And then I actually think that I might have given them a little bit too much water. So they were looking kind of rough. So I've taken them off, taken them out and cut them off of the pieces of root that just did not look good. And I'm waiting for them to dry out. So that's where those extra ones come from. But yeah, all of my other ones, and I decided to, this alocasia, I decided to not take it out of its pot yet either, just because I want to see it thrive a little bit more since it was on the clearance. I feel like there was a reason why it was on there. So I didn't really want to take it off and hurt its chances of, you know, thriving. And then of course we have our snake plants. A lot of them are looking good. I went through and cut off some of the pieces that were just, you know, not looking well. I think like 2 of them actually didn't make it. I don't know what happened to it, but it just, but most of them look really nice. I still feel like they are in rehabilitation. So I won't, you know, I'm keeping an extra close eye on them. There are a few pieces here that just, you know, are not looking too happy, so I'll have to cut those off. But I feel like this plant definitely is in some rehab, so it's gonna chill out a little bit before I do anything much with it as far as like giving them away or whatever my plan is with them. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this haul. It was definitely a process. It takes some time to separate all those, but it was a lot of fun, and I hope that you took some tips on when you are searching for your plants, and if you're trying to get the most bang for your buck and be able to get a lot of plants for a little bit of money. Propagation always is great, but also separating, looking for those offshoots will expand your plant collection in a more inexpensive way. So as always, if you guys like this video, just give us a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, I've got a lot of stuff going on here. I would love to have you along this journey of plant parenthood, but also I do a little bit of everything here, some art mixed in with some mental health, a little bit of podcast, and a little bit of plant journey. So if you would like to be along on the journey, just hit that subscribe button, and we would love to have you in this community. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.